Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the board.
My name is Lily.
And I'm Ruth.
And we're from Inspiration Marketing. Thank you for your time today. Look, we all know that in the past few months, the customer mindset has changed undeniably. This directly affects how and to whom you guys need to market.
So let's take a look at how consumer behaviour has changed.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Nikki. Ready for your 73 questions?
Absolutely. Come on in, but don't forget to sanitize. Weird world, I know. But come on in and we'll have a chat about it.
So, Nikki, tell me about how the pandemic has changed consumer behaviour.
Oh, it's a hard one to condense, but basically you have a shift to consumer spiritualism, the emergence of the homebody economy, and surveillance creep. Gotta watch out for that one. Tea or coffee?
Coffee, please. Nikki, tell me a little bit more about consumer spiritualism.
Well, I don't know about you, but I've definitely started to appreciate my life a lot more since COVID-19. Kind of looking at the products I use, which ones bring me value, which are essential, which I could probably do without, and most importantly, what brands I'm going to use to build the new future I want after this pandemic. Sugar?
Yeah. Recent studies show that over 70% of people do not yet feel comfortable resuming their daily activities. Also, since the beginning of the pandemic, Google Trends have revealed a sharp increase in searches related to loneliness and depression. Nikki, how can we facilitate this behaviour change?
Well, what you're talking about there is the homebody economy, and the best thing brands can do right now is listen to that data. They need to shift online. Oh, sorry, just my contact tracing app. 0 cases this week. Actually, speaking of the app, I should probably talk about how it's heightened consumer concerns of their privacy since lockdown and created a sense of digital distrust in our society. Actually, grab a seat and we'll talk about how the company can facilitate these behaviour changes. So companies need to move digital now. It's actually estimated that in the last 3 months, there's been over 5 years of digital advancement. And if companies don't start to utilise AI and big data, they won't survive.
Interesting. But will these digital advancements mitigate consumers' COVID concerns?
Not entirely, no. That's the job of the customer experience manager too. They're going to need to renew their brand focus, and at every touch point, they're going to need to put a spotlight on customer safety. Actually, speaking of brand experience, a lot of companies optimize this for their consumer by employing big data systems. These can let them know how much their customers are willing to give up their privacy for personalization. However, it's important to remember that not the most advanced methods are always the best, as more data doesn't always lead to competitive advantage. Ready to go?
Just one more question. How has the pandemic affected competition? I've heard it's the easiest time to gain or lose market share.
Absolutely. There's been a real shock to loyalty, and we've seen this in past epidemics where consumers display price elastic behaviour. So right now, the best thing businesses can do is be very competitive in their pricing. Is that everything?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You too.
Don't forget your mask. See you. Bye.
So, how does this affect you? Your target market has changed and you need to react to these changes in order to continue to provide a high quality, customer perceived value offering. As a dating app, Hinge inherently appeals to a variety of market segments, penetrating all social classes, education levels, races, religions, etc. We employed the segmentation, targeting, and positioning method to identify which segment is worth your time and money to focus on, looking at 4 key factors: geographics, demographics, psychographics, and behavioral trends. With the aforementioned changes in your consumer base brought about by COVID-19, we have identified the following target market, which, if correctly targeted, could put Hinge on the forefront of the dating scene in Dublin. Your new target market is the COVID-conscious professional woman between the ages of 32 and 36, located here in Dublin, seeking a meaningful relationship. Focusing on this largely overlooked market segment can help you realise unprecedented returns on investment and firmly establish Hinge as the dating app in the minds of your target market. So, meet Jen, your ideal customer.
Hey, I'm Jen, I'm 34 and I live and work in Dublin. Most of my friends are either married or engaged, so I'm looking for a serious relationship. The only current way to safely find love during lockdown is through dating apps, but I find them boring, unengaging, and none of my matches seem to go anywhere. It's impossible to establish a real connection.
COVID-19 has triggered 2 key changes to your consumer base: increased levels of loneliness and the switch in consumer spending from materialistic gains to purchases of emotional significance, previously explained by consumer behaviour analyst Nikki Germain. This led us to your new target market, On average, women get married at 34 years old, so women like Jen were already feeling pressure to settle down, with this further being heightened by increased levels of loneliness. And notably, this segment has a higher income than your younger users, because a shift in consumer spending doesn't matter unless your users actually have money to spend. With your new target market established, I'm going to hand you over to my colleague Ruth, who's going to walk you through our new marketing perspective.
So we propose that you offer users the assistance of an artificially intelligent version of your already popular mascot, Hinge.
Think of Hinge as your AI wingman who will help you plan successful dates.
Hinge will look at the user's unique preferences and using big data, will send them personally tailored matches and assist them in setting up virtual dates. Each user can choose to share as much or as little data as they want, with options such as sharing their Google Calendar, Instagram, preferences, and so on. Presenting users with this optional AI wingman will boost Hinge's effectiveness and efficiency, ultimately leading to increased profits and user engagement through increased subscriptions. It will assist Hinge in overcoming the growing fear of surveillance creep. By enabling users to use AI as a service, it will empower them rather than take advantage of them. This transparent approach gives users a sense of autonomy, leading them to perceive Hinge as high-tech but not invasive. Let's have a look at what this looks like.
Hey Hinge, can you help me set up a virtual date with Ronan this Friday?
Sure thing, Jen. I've looked at your Google Calendar and you're available midday Friday or after 6 p.m.
Great, see if we can do a virtual coffee at 12:30, or I can do pizza at 6.
Hey Ronan, Jen asked you on a virtual date. Would you do coffee or pizza?
Yeah, Hinge, I could do pizza too.
This new product offering appeals to Jen as it can save her time in finding her new dream man. Young professionals don't want to be wasting hours on a dating app, and most importantly, this feature can keep her safe as virtual dates allow her to test compatibility before meeting in person. So this offering goes hand in hand in bringing people together while adapting COVID-19 restrictions. Not only will this allow you to reap short-term benefits, but it will also transition seamlessly into the future when Hinge can facilitate in-person dates. For example, booking a restaurant for the users.
We know that when it comes to AI, users fear uniqueness neglect, meaning they're anxious that bots cannot identify their personal unique features. However, studies show that when you give customers the option to modify their AI offering, then they look past this uniqueness neglect and actually feel the benefits of personalization. Such a competitive market, it is essential to clearly distinguish your customer perceived value offering from those of your competitors, and Hinge is sure to do just that, garnering you a sustained competitive advantage.
The $7 billion dating app industry that was built on bringing individuals together has changed. So Hinge must leverage AI now more than ever in order to successfully navigate this new transformed market.
Thank you for your time.